Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. For some months, I have been saying this. It's an expression that means something else. For you, in a linear way, it means step closer to me. That's pretty hard, since you don't see me, that is, in the physical. So of course it means something else. And in that it tells a story. And the story is this, that no matter who you are listening to this, again I tell you, you are known. Known by a very loving God that wishes you to come closer to that which is the source of you. And that is what the circle of 12 is all about. The 12 being the structure of all things, the beauty. The 12 represents a philosophy, not a number of saints or of masters. The 12 is the philosophy that says that all things are structured in the 12. All things that are multidimensional, all that is physics, is God, that is there, visible or not, is the structure of 12. And so in a circle of 12, that means that you are part of the structure. You are there together as the structure. And that's where the name came from. Hard to understand, too esoteric for you, too intellectual perhaps. It doesn't have to be. The instructions have always been the same, is to sit and be loved. Questions on how that is done. And that is also a metaphor. And here's how you do it. Don't analyze what I just said. Don't use your intellect to try to figure this out. Because a multidimensional source is not understandable to a single-digit dimensional being. It's just not. And that is why this, the Healing Wednesday meditation at the end of every one of them, takes you to an unknown place. Sit and be loved means to make vacant all of those thoughts of trying to understand and figure out and use your logic to see this or that, because it won't work. All of that which you are going to eventually see and figure out and be and feel is beyond your logic. God is beyond your logic. Many don't like that. They say, well, I can understand if you just tell me about it. It doesn't work that way, because there are things you do not know yet, because you haven't seen them yet. You don't know what you don't know. So how can you then take what you don't know as pieces and parts of a logic puzzle that you do know and figure anything out? It doesn't work. So instead, that we ask you, do you trust that which is the Creator? Can you be loved by that which is the Creator without asking how or why or when or where? Each one of these meetings is a journey on the other side of a bridge. Whether you can visualize it or not, or whether you just listen, it doesn't matter. Because the premise of every single one of these meetings is as follows. Your soul is eternal. All humans have a soul. That soul of yours is a piece and a part of the creative source. There are so many spiritual systems on this planet that acknowledge this, that the masters have walked around saying the very thing. You are a piece of the whole. Some have even said humans are made in the image of God, and that doesn't mean you look like God. The image of God is compassion and love, and you are made in that image. You are a part of everything that is. And yet, your linearity says that you have one life and you die and it's over. Not understanding It's not. The vessel that you live in, the biology, it comes and goes. It renews itself. There are more on the planet who believe that than not, dear ones, because it is intuition. It is the first thing that you wake up and wonder is that, have I lived before? Because I feel this and I feel that. And the answer is yes. All of you are on a multi-lifetime journey. Your soul is the same every single time. You are eternal. In both directions means there was no beginning, any more than there was a beginning of God. And so all of this is to say, would you like to know more about you? Or would you like to simply stay in 4 dimensions and wallow in that which is fear and drama and not understanding, where the lights are never really quite turned on, and you always wonder about death? Or would you like to know more about that which is you, your soul, which is eternal, where the light gets turned on, and even though you may not understand it all, oh, you feel it. You know there is peace. Can you have peace without understanding it? The answer is, oh, yes. And that is sometimes for many an exercise, over and over, to try to find the peace that passes all understanding. And you can have it. The bridge represents a journey, if you wish, between that which is comfortable for you and that which may be uncomfortable for you, because when you get into a multidimensional state, things don't operate the way you're used to having them operate. If you are able to move with me across that bridge just 1 or 2 times, and actually put yourself into that which means you're closer to your soul, it may feel so unusual to you. And that unusualness is only because you've just never been there before. What if you were more magnificent than you ever thought you were? And that magnificence is not totally understood, but you recognize it's real. Can you see truth without having all of the minutia of it? Can you say to a person, I know I'm part of God because I am that I am. I know it. And if then they say, well, prove it. That's tough, isn't it? Mom, Dad, do you love your children? Prove it. And you'll say, well, wait a minute, that doesn't really work that way, does it, Krine? Because you can't then itemize and minutiaize and prove love. Nor can you. For the love of God, come with me across that bridge. I've told you about it before. You're about ready, if you wish, to cross into a place, if you wish to call it that you haven't really been before. Some of you and others can hardly wait because you have, over and over. Let's go, Krine, let's go. Okay, let's go. Come to the middle of the bridge with me. You'll see a mist that you cannot see through. It's a fog, like a fog bank. It's a wall of fog. And the reason it is because what's on the other side of it is not really seeable while you're in 4D. You've got to go there before you can understand it or feel it or even begin to itemize what might be happening. Come with me. We stand at the mist, that wall of mist, all of you and me. Take the hands of the ones around you, if you wish, their family. Some are here for the first time. If you wish, take their hands so there'll be no fear of discovery, of something they didn't expect, something beautiful that they didn't know about themselves. Walk with me through the mist. Oh, the mist goes away, and now you are on the other side of the bridge, walking toward that unknown thing which is the magnificence of you. Can you imagine that you're walking into your own magnificence, a part of you that never God explained to you or showed to you, but only hinted at? What does made in His image mean to you? When the masters tell you you're a piece of the creation, what does that mean to you? Welcome to something you did not expect. Your magnificence, what you can do. And it's so big. It's so magnificent. It's so remarkable. Oh, there are things here that we've never mentioned at all, and how you can hear light, and how you can see things you never saw before, and understand eventually how the universe is teeming with life, and it's not just angels, dear ones. There's so much here that you know, your soul knows. Come with me to the theater. We've always talked about it, a metaphor. A place where you're going to have examination, discovery, love. A theater in the round that you're going to go into through a door, a portal if you wish. There's a name on the door. It's your name in light. It truly is. A code if you wish. A language you can't read if you wish. It's you. And you walk into that theater in the round, a sunken theater in the round with a stage in the middle. You have to go down to it to get on the stage, and there's seats all around, and you go down there yet again every single time we go there, every single time. And sometimes the audience is not there, and sometimes it is, and sometimes that audience is coming in, and they're anticipating what's going to happen. Picture that yet again, because this particular time we're going to do an exercise in compassion. It's going to echo what you learned in the channel that happened a few moments ago. I want you to go up onto the stage all by yourself and sit in the chair. Everyone is seeing you, dear ones. And there are those who always want the minutiae and always want the details and say, well, if that chair is in a theater in the round, that means that part of the audience is to your back. Does that really make sense, Crown? And I would say, oh, how 3D of you. That chair is facing everyone all the time. Go figure it out. Multidimensionality is that way. You can be in several places at the same time. How about multiple yous in the chair facing everyone? How about that? Everyone can see your face. Trust me. And at this moment, all of you together, the family before you, dear ones, is everyone who is watching this program, everyone who ever will. It's all of your relatives and friends. It's them in their past lives. The amount of people who are watching this with you in the seats around you is enormous. How big is that theater? And the answer is yes. Those are the kinds of answers that you don't like when you are in 4 dimensions. You want to know the numbers and the particulars, and in a multidimensional state there are none. It's very, very different, and that is the magnificence of the field that is there. And here's what I want you to do. All together, the audience quiets, and now there's an exercise. And the exercise is this. Everyone is watching you for the cue. And the cue is this. You're going to have compassion for one another right now, at this point in time on the earth, because there are changes coming. And those changes are going to affect the light and dark balance of everything you ever thought you knew. Light is going to start to win. And in a compassionate way, this planet needs to be hugged to get through it. Right now, compassion for everyone on the planet, compassion for everyone who's sitting before you, they're having compassion for you. Together as a family, you start to hug one another. That's all you do. Remember when I defined compassion? I want you to meld, connect with the mind of God. Be understanding. Have an open heart to one another. and throw away all of the reasons why you think things can't happen, and instead simply hug. Hug by the millions if you wish, and you can do that in an interdimensional, multidimensional state. You can do that if you wish, and all of you right now are with all of the others. And you are hugging one another in a way, perhaps, that all you see is oneness. It is the oneness of creation, because every single one of you represents a soul that's also eternal. And you as a planet are going to move through this, because those who have the light are going to hug the others who don't and get them through this so they feel peaceful and they're not afraid, and they will emerge healthy. This is your job right now. This is the healing of the heart. This is why you came. And don't forget, the more compassion you have, the more your cells relax and start to change their chemistry and prepare for the healing you came for. Stay. Stay. And so it is.